Welcome back to this episode of Birth of the Degenerate. I'm here with the boys. We got Big Billy. We got Mr. McChicken himself, Jay, or Jay Philly the Kid. How we doing, the boys? How's our March going?
I'm on fire. Fire today. Feel good. Feel great. Couldn't be better.
I'm experiencing new emotions. So yes, I'm good.
What would you say is more fire right now? Billy's picks or that McChicken sandwich behind your head?
Ooh, that's a close call.
Ooh, McChicken. Yeah, man, you can't go wrong with McChicken, bro.
You also can't go wrong with Billy's picks. And if you took some of Billy's picks and put some units on them, you could probably buy about 100 McChickens.
Ooh.
5-1 today with 2 games to go.
So what you're saying is that you could buy Mad McChickens? There you go.
That was bad. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that was that good.
You have lady hair.
Welcome back to Birth Degenerate. The #1 podcast in the world is Betting the Diagonal. This is our little sub-series. We are teaching our favorite little Mario Mushroom Man here the in and outs of gambling. Jared's coming off a week where he took his first test last week. He got a 7 out of 10. He passed. He barely passed. He didn't know how many picks he had placed all year. He didn't know what his record was for the year, but he passed. So we're back, and we're starting round 2 of the content for Jared here to start learning some new things. Before we get into that, Jared, let's talk about your UFC picks from last week. How'd they go? Kind of like that sandwich behind him.
Let's see. Wow. Let's see. I picked Nunez and she won. I picked Santos and he won. I picked the guy who got kneed in the head and won by DQ. And Adesanya, he sang sweet nothings into my ear as he fucked me. So yeah, I was 3 of 4.
No, Santos lost.
Santos won.
No, he lost.
He lost?
Yeah, I was on Rachik. He definitely lost, bro. You went 1 and 2 with a minus 1,000. So
kid doesn't even know his own picks.
Oh wow! Oh shit. Okay, so I went 2 for 2.
You went 2 for 2, but the second Nunez is a man fighting in a woman.
That's a very questionable pick.
God, no,
I think
Mike.
you get like
here we go. Fucking semantics.
No, I mean we said that you had to parlay it with something because Nunez didn't count, and your parlay did lose because of Nunez, but they weren't bad. They were better than Greg's pick. I'll tell you that.
That's true.
But the parlay lost because I
might have an internal controversy for the UFC guy on betting the diagonal.
Yeah,
you know. Your odds are a little bit better right now. Your reliability seems to be a little bit better. It's like, what are we going to do here? But that's neither here nor there. Jared, your pick stunk. You didn't do that great. The only reason you finished 500 is because you picked the easiest pick in the world. That would be like freaking Billy picking Alabama football to go against Pittsburgh or Rutgers or some other scrub team.
Rutgers stinks.
Give him some loser out there and watch him put up 50 more points.
DeVry College.
DeVry University winning the MAC 10, right?
Online
I'm sorry, Big 10. Big 10. No?
No, just stop now. You're making this look bad. All right, Jared. We got a couple new things for you to go over tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. First thing we want to talk to you about is betting during a public game and event. All right. What do you think a public game or event is?
That's right. I didn't even write that question. That's a great question. I didn't even think of that. That's a great question to ask.
You mean like you actually go to a game and you just live bet? You're live betting.
No.
No? I mean like a special event?
I will say this. I do not hate that you brought up live betting, but you're not right. I don't hate that you brought up live betting, because we will be getting into that also.
You say public event, so like some big sporting event then.
No, betting on a public game or event.
So like it has nothing to do with the event, but like the
type of people that bet during that event.
So a public event, Jared, is going to be like the Super Bowl. It's going to be like the NBA Finals. That's something that even the casual fan like yourself is checking into. You know, the World Series rolls around. It's Phillies versus Yankees. Even you're going to check in to see what it looks like and everything. Like that. Yeah, little Phillies plug right there. Look out for my.
Nobody's watching the World Series.
No one's watching that. No one's watching baseball.
A public event is, a game tomorrow for basketball is going to be Baylor versus Oklahoma State. That's going to be a public game. That's where all the casual fans are going to get in on and think they can, outsmart everyone and everything. Non-public one, Buffalo versus Akron, right? You're going to have the real fans that are in on that game. We're big with action here on Betting the Diamond.
Buffalo Bulldogs, right? They're Bulldogs.
Nope.
No?
Oh, God. Jesus.
Get out of here. Get this kid out of here. This is March. How dare you?
I was trying to give you some props over Greg right now. And this is the kind of shenanigans you pull. Jesus. But a public event is the events that, the big games, the one that has the marquee eye, right? Think of NBA Finals, okay? Miami Heat.
Betting for the normies.
Yeah, casuals.
There you go. The casual fans, those who don't know enough, like yourself when it comes NHL Stanley Cup Finals time, and you're watching the Islanders out there, and you don't know 4 guys on the ice. I threw one your way. My team's not making it, so
that's for damn sure.
But let's talk, Jared. What do you think? What happens to the lines of the Vegas sets with those games? What do you think? What do you think it means when it's a public game?
When it's a public game, the lines fluctuate like shit.
That's not a bad answer, actually.
No, it's not.
It's not a wrong. I wouldn't even say it's a wrong answer because the lines would be moving more because there's more money coming in. But what really happens? Say like I was using this term more broadly for like the college basketball tournament for the brackets. Everybody and their mother does a bracket. People who haven't watched college basketball all year, like, oh, so and so is a favorite at this much. So like I use the example, the lines are tighter. It'd be the word to use. So there's less value. So like say a team that would be getting a double digit favorite in December, January, they're now a 5-point favorite or a 6-point favorite. It's harder to bet.
So a great example of this for tomorrow will be that Baylor-Oklahoma State game. Baylor's opening up as a 9-point favorite. When you play this game, let's say 2-3 months ago, Baylor's at least, 15 points, you'd say? 14 and a half, maybe?
Yep.
It's because so much more money is going to come into that game. That number is going to be – and it's going to be very deceiving when you're looking at it. And you're going to think you can get Oklahoma State at a good number there when – if the real fans know that, Baylor's the number 1 team in the country.
Number 2. Definitely number 2.
We'll have a debate on the next show. We don't want to. That's way too over Jared's head. He doesn't even know where Baylor is.
Baylor, Ohio.
No,
Ohio.
It's not a bad guess, I guess.
That's a terrible guess.
I mean, if you don't want, would you know where Baylor would be?
Baylor University. Oh, it's in Texas.
Yeah,
Waco, Texas.
Waco.
Why isn't that Waco State?
Because there's probably a community college, Waco State.
There is a community college called Waco. It's actually a.
Isn't that Baco? Like Waco.
It's a junior. Waco State's a junior college that JUCO, that a lot of good baseball players who come out of or skip high school kind of stuff go to. But that is way off topic. Yeah. Let's bring it back here before Jared completely derails us. So every time I just see him, he just throws me off a loop here.
Morgan, just a heads up, I'm going to talk about this again in the next show, just because I feel like it's just things that need to be said. Why do you think it happens, Jared? Why do you think that, like, normally when
get tighter?
Why do you think the lines would get tighter?
Well, you have a lot of the people like betting, but they're all betting their own way on what they think is right. So it's going up and down. So now it's just like, your margin of error keeps shortening. No? Yes.
Once again, he's on the right track. It's not more about the people. It's more about Vegas. Vegas sets the lines, and then everybody else follows suit. Like, I use an offshore account. If you have a local bookie, they get their numbers from Vegas or from an offshore account, however they get them from. but it all comes back to Las Vegas. They make the lines. They send them out. Say, just for example, today, San Diego State was a 15-point favorite against Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
If this was next week in the actual tournament, this game would have been San Diego State laying 8 points. They'd be an 8-point favorite instead of 15.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's less risk for Las Vegas. They're covering the chances of them
They're
losing
covering their
more money.
asses.
Yeah, they're covering their asses. And that's what a public game is. So, like, the perfect example of a public game is a Super Bowl. It truly is. So, everybody and their mothers, my father, I think we talked about it. He walks in the kitchen, bets, hey, I got the Chiefs. I said, okay, if you want. If you want. My dad is a casual.
Hey,
I
shout out to your
would consider
dad.
you a casual. You watch football all the time, but
But
you
he's a
don't bet on
casual.
it. Yeah, but
He's an
you don't
normie.
bet on it. So for me, I saw the Buccaneers in my head. Buccaneers should have been favored.
Mm-hmm.
There was no doubt about it, and the reason being is Vegas knew that the public would take the Chiefs. They take the favorite. They take the young, strapping young man with the curly hair and the Head and Shoulders commercial. They
you mean Kermit?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Patrick Mahomes.
I like ketchup on my steak.
Because they hate Tom Brady. It's really what it is. They're so tired of seeing Tom Brady lose. They want to bet against Tom Brady. But rule number 17, really, no, it should be rule number 12. Let's go rule number 12. You don't bet against Tom Brady. That's not rule number 1. If you really looked into the game, the Buccaneers are better on offense and defense.
Mm-hmm.
There was no reason why the Chiefs should have been favored in that game, but they were. Because Vegas knew that everybody and the mother would bet on the Chiefs. So they said, hey, let's give it to them and let's break their hearts. Just like what's going to happen this week, the conference tournament's going to go on. Just like today, I am 5-1, possibly have a 6-1 day, 7-1 day. See how the rest of the night goes. Next week, that 7-1 really goes to 4-3, 5-2, because they reel you in. They give you that minus 15 that you shouldn't take. They want you to take the plus 15 for the underdog story because they got more to play for, this and that, all these great reasons.
It's
and then they're like, hey, you just won some money this week. Now all these games are going to be on all day long, and you get to sit at home and watch them because you're working from home. This, that, all the other things. Go ahead, take that bet. Take that bet. They lost by 1 point. That no-name school that nobody knows getting 20 points, they're going to cover that spread. But, like, I've seen it time and time again. Duke never covered spreads in the tournament. Kentucky never covered spreads in the tournament. It just happens. Because they want to steal your money.
It's one of the biggest guarantees in life is Duke will not cover the tournament.
The house always wins. But the biggest thing, Vegas brings you in for the conference tournaments like I'm watching right now, and they come and they break your heart when it's on national television. Anytime something's on national television, I hate betting on it. I'll bet on something on ESPN too. I won't bet on something on regular ESPN. If it's on prime time on a Sunday night, I'm staying away. Mm-hmm. I just have one more thing. What do you think are possible solutions to avoiding getting stuck in that little trap?
Units.
He's not wrong on any of these.
No, in a roundabout way. That's right. Yeah,
that's correct. It's always correct.
Being responsible gambling, which we promote on this podcast. Always promoting responsible gambling.
But you said it before. You said it when we opened up the show.
Research.
Live betting.
Live
betting to get a better number, or maybe just like say a game that you probably wouldn't bet on. I'm having a good day, so I figured ahead of time. I saw the lines. I felt very strongly about the plays I made today. on the podcast on Tuesday, I said I wasn't going to bet on this Texas Tech game, but here I am betting on this Texas Tech game. If this is the tournament, I'm not betting on this game because it's too close. There's too many variables. I would stay away. So that's always a good idea. And the last one, taking the underdog. Just take the underdog. They always got more to play for. You love an underdog story. You're rooting for the little guy. There's nothing ever wrong with that. I just wanted to get that little PSA out before we dive into today's lesson.
Underdog. Research.
Write that down.
Units.
And it will be on a test. I guarantee.
I don't want to do tests anymore.
You got one more test before this little segment is over. For sure.
Fuck.
And then you have a final still at least.
What the fuck do you
Morgan, real quick before I lose my train of thought, UConn won by 33.
There's the old. So this, you ready? For a little backstory here, real quick story. Last night, myself, Billy, and Greg, the chairs of Betting a Diagonal, we're all doing a nice little PGA 2K21 match. If you don't have this game, I highly recommend it. Maybe jump in and play against us, and I just smoke your ass. But anyway, we're in there playing, and we're talking this game, and Greggy's sitting there talking about how he's going to take DePaul for this game. And none other than Billy Football himself comes out and goes, give me that alternate line, UConn minus 30. Wild. Absolutely wild. Let's say it one more time for those in the back. Greg, what did UConn win by?
33.
Woo. Woo. I
33.
would love to have seen what the payout would have been on a minus 30 cover for UConn.
It wasn't an option. I checked.
That would have been
because I only wanted the 30. I don't want to settle for anything less for the screenshot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm gonna call it out, it's got to be that.
That was right there. That was the kickoff to the heater. That's when you know you're going streaking. You just throw something out there and it just sticks on the wall. It's like white on rice, baby. And that was a hot pick.
I mean, it was more research, if anything. Segue into what we're talking about.
Exactly. Say perfect segue. Sure. Let's talk about researching a game. All right. We're going to dive a little bit deeper.
This is what I need help on.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with what you need help on. You need help on a lot of different things. What do you think things that?
No, I want to do it with him. At least one of the games he has. I feel like that's the best way to do it. What game do you want to? You're gonna pick for this week's episode that you want us to help break down with you?
The Grizzlies and Nuggets.
Beautiful. Let's take it.
Okay. I'm on FanDuel, so it says the spread. They have Nuggets -3, Grizzlies +3 at -110. -152 for the Nuggets, +128 for the Grizzlies. The over is 228.228.5.
Yeah.
Over is 28.
What are you taking? And before we break it down, why?
I'm taking the Grizzlies. John Morant's looking like a number one. He's killing it. I'm sorry. Yo, man, them passes, he was playing around. He was playing around.
I don't know. I'm not complaining.
That was beautiful.
I'm
that was
back
beautiful
listening.
Triple fake last night.
That was operatic. You could put that to opera music and just vibe.
Operatic.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
Big word for you, huh?
Is it a word?
I don't think that's a word.
It is.
I think we're officially making up words here on this podcast.
I will take the under on that one. No.
Operatic is in fact a word.
Is it what he meant it to be?
It's exactly what he meant it to be.
We're 1 for 1, baby. We're 1 for 1. Let's go. Look at that. A public event.
That's fair. You did get us.
Yo, public event.
Now,
them lines were singing for me.
Oh, Jesus.
So now, besides the fact that you think Ja Morant looking like a true number one, what other reason would you have for betting on Memphis?
That is my reason.
So one person.
Yeah, Ja Morant.
Now let me ask you, what if he has an off shooting night, or he rolls his ankle? Then what?
Then you chalk it up to the losses. Look now,
That's never gonna
Brock
stick.
Evans.
First off, that's
It's
never gonna stick.
It's gonna stick.
Jesus. Please, and to anybody who's watching this right now, please ignore everything he's saying.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, we're gonna make a T-shirt of that. Just chalk it up to losses.
Morgan,
All
this
right, so
is more of your specialty as far as breaking
So,
stats down for the NBA.
Sure.
I don't know what you like
Jared,
to
all right,
use.
what do you think is going to be the difference in this game? You think John Moran is going to be the difference? Is that what I'm kind of getting at?
Yes.
Okay, just off the top of your ballpark. All right, Denver has a pretty good point guard themselves in Jamal Murray. Right? They're a pretty good team. Right? They're 21-14 on the season. They're a pretty strong West contender. What makes you think? What statistic could you potentially have that would make you think that this is a good pick to take the Memphis +3 plus whatever you have it as?
I mean, I just said that it was John Morant, but they had a really good game.
All right. Well, there's some other things you could look up and find there. So there's a couple great resources that I use. I'm a big fan of Covers. Covers is great. It's one of the best sites to find good information. Another one I love to use Action Network as well. They have great write-ups, especially for NBA and basketball itself. And my best resource that I use when I'm looking up just statistics and empirical stats left and right is just NBA team rankings. The team rankings, you can find literally anything you want to find out. So right now, I'm sitting here looking at it, and the statistic that would really back you up right now is, yes, Denver's got a great offense with Jokic out there. However, when Jokic is on the court, they are the 14th ranked. They're 14th in defensive rating in the league, which is significant. It was 14th from the bottom, so really 16th overall. They're less than half of the league in their defensive rating. Their defense suffers when he's out on the court. That right there itself could lead directly into your pick of the Grizzlies, right? You're getting a team that he can attack and has struggles with. If we go a little further and we look at their opponents' points per game, right? Memphis in their last 3 games is putting up 111.7 points per game. All right, so you can see where they're kind of putting in their points at. This game is on the road. This is at home for Memphis. They put up 112.7 points per game on average on the season, as opposed to 107 on the road. All right. Whereas Denver, as a road team, puts up 110.5. So it's pretty close, but you can see that Memphis scores more at home than Denver does on the road. So that could lean into your stats right there, right?
This is all off of Action Sports Network.
So what I'm looking at right now is just go on Google, type in NBA team rankings. Yes.
I mean, I'm at Action Network.
Action Network's great. I love Action Network. It's one of my favorite resources that I use when I'm looking into statistics and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But for raw, straight stats, split
team rankings is a phenomenal source to use.
There's nothing better than teamrankings.com.
It's absolutely. So I'm looking right now, right?
Anything.
Right now, I'm looking at opponent shooting percentage on the season. All right. And right now, Denver, where's Denver? Denver is the 18th ranked team this season so far in opponent shooting percentage, where opponents are shooting 46.9% against them. So that's a good number. That means guys are getting to the rim, which directly correlates into the statistic with their net rating on defense with Jokic out there, that you can drive the net. Bless you. I don't know what you're about to do.
You said a whole bunch of shit. You literally just said a whole bunch of shit.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of stuff, but if you look into it, this can help build your case for why this pick is your pick, right? I don't hate your pick. I like the pick of Memphis.
I like it as well.
That's where my lean with that pick would be for tomorrow.
Just one more.
That's a very strong pick, which I hate to say, especially coming from you. But, you can continue with it a little bit. Memphis on defense is the exact same 46.9% shooting percentage as Denver is. So they're very comparable teams despite the difference in their records. Okay, so if I can get that 3.5 points, I want to take those points. There's not much separating these two teams except one team has an MVP candidate. You take him off the court, there's not a lot to change between these two teams. It's very different. John Morant's your second best guy on the court out there. You have a great center in Valanciunas.
Memphis gets way more points in the paint. They get out on the fast break more. They score almost 6 more points on the fast break, almost 10 more points in the paint. They average more assists, more rebounds, but their shooting percentage is 4 points lower. Their Memphis defense is a little bit better, but that's just straight basketball statistics.
And my favorite statistic when I look up a basketball game is free throw percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Does the team, this is great for college as well, probably even a little bit more so for college than for NBA, because NBA majority of guys can shoot.
They're at 78.7.
Exactly. Now it's not much different, obviously, than what Denver does at 78.6%, right? It's neck and tooth, right?
Yeah.
However, have seen these statistics that Denver's defense in the paint is not as strong, which leads you to believe. Now, this is not foolproof, but it leads you to believe that Memphis driving the net is going to get more free throw opportunities than Denver is going to get. Right?
Okay.
That way you're going to slow the game down. You're getting 3 points at the line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Memphis is a good shooting free throw team. All right, that's like I said, that's 3 points that you're putting up there to go along with the 3.5 that you're already getting. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Another great one that I very much like to look at is rebound percentage. It's a huge. What are the team rebounds per game? Their total rebound rate. How do they end up doing? Memphis is the 10th ranked team in rebound percentage at 51.2%. That means they're getting, out of all the rebounds that come up there, they're getting 51.2% of them per game. Okay. You can even take it a little bit deeper. And I don't have a statistic for this or anything, but just knowing basketball, I know basketball a decent amount. Jonas Valanciunas is a phenomenal rebounder. He is a phenomenal offensive rebounder. That's extra possessions that you're going to get right there, right? Again, feedback off our previous statistic where they're the 14th net defense with Jokic, which means Jokic is kind of soft down there on the defensive end. Valanciunas is a big boy. That man's straight out of Lithuanian prisons. He doesn't get pushed around down there. He's not letting no Serbians show him what's going on. He's going to give him the business down there, right? So, you want to look at those little things, and especially in NBA, free throw percentage, rebound percentage, and 3-point rate are such huge numbers to look at because that's the way the game plays. So many teams these days, you don't see the old grit and grind of the Grizzlies of about 5-6 years ago, right? We don't see that anymore. Now it is space and pace. It is about getting out on the run, shooting the three, and getting to the line.
Yeah,
that's it. And these statistics pack right into that, and you can use those to directly support your argument for Memphis plus 3.5.
I like one thing I like to look at, especially with a team that doesn't matter college or NBA, is a team that doesn't shoot the ball well from deep. How well are they on the offensive glass to clean it up? So say I don't have a stat in front of me, but say Team A shoots the ball 33% from 3-point range, but they're the number one offensive rebounding team in the country or in the league, and they have the most second chance points. That's something else to look at. So if you're looking at just 3-point percentage and they're one of the worst, it doesn't mean they're not scoring on those possessions.
So exactly what Billy's saying. Right. So I just pulled it up right now. Memphis is the 18th ranked free 3-point shooting team in the league. Bottom half of the league. They're hitting about 35%. However, they're the number 4 offensive rebounding team in the league at 11.2 offensive boards per game. That's second chance points. That's free throws left and right. That's putting the team in foul trouble. It's putting pressure on the defense in different ways. Those are huge things right there to look at. Now, yes, you can also look at, I watched the Memphis-Washington game last night. I can look at trends. I can see what's going on to get a feel for it and everything for sure. But those statistics right there, especially as Billy just said, the 3-point percentage is huge. In today's NBA, second chance points is massive. It's what's going on with that. How are you valuing the possession? Another big one I like to use, which I'm not going to get into, assist to turnover ratio. That's huge.
That's massive in college basketball.
College,
massive.
It's gigantic. Not as much in NBA as it is in college. But are you valuing your possessions, right? Shot clock in NBA is a little bit different than shot clock in college. You're getting more possessions in the NBA with a longer game. Am I taking advantage of that possession?
One more thing you might want to look at, which helps with covers.com, was the one we talked about briefly.
I have that up.
Yeah. So you have that game in front of you?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
So you see, it says the straight up record 17-16 for Memphis.
Yeah.
Denver is 21-15.
Yeah.
You see that even though the record right below it, ATS, which is against the spread, how well does the team cover? That Memphis is actually the better team to bet on the year. They cover the spread 10 times at home out of 19 times, but in the last 10 games, they've covered 7 times out of 10, and Denver hasn't really been covering as well in the last 10. But you see that little button that says trends?
Yeah.
I want you to click on it. It's going to bring you to the hot and cold trends. You'll see Denver pops up first, and their last 4 games, they've covered all 4 games. But now click on Memphis. They've also covered all 4 of their last games. Bless you again.
Thank you.
And if you scroll down, it gives you the over-under, all different situations, like some ridiculous stuff. Grizzlies are 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games, playing on 1-day rest. What was that?
Even give me the referees. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, absolutely.
Referees are huge, especially as you get into playoff time. Referees is a huge thing to kind of look at. And one thing that I very much look closely at, I don't look at it too much in the regular season because there's too much going on. But when you get into a 7-game series, seeing the refs and how they've called games in the past, are they more likely to blow a whistle? Or are they less likely? That's going to play a much bigger factor on the total for the game for sure. You know, if I'm going to have a ref who's going to blow the whistle a lot more, I like my chances at an over much more than a ref who's going to let it play.
I agree 100%. The next thing I wanted to talk about was even just like what Morgan uses for Action Network. Like, yeah, he uses its stats, but Action Network is more of like almost like a blog, like a write-up of each game or multiple games like that writer likes. So like I oftentimes will stay up all night reading multiple articles about the same game to get different opinions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it favors my side or the other side. Before I look into any of this, I want to say that I look at the game, if I even just like the number, like the 3.5 or whatever it is, then I start doing the research. If it looks suspect, I don't touch it. I stay away. You don't need sus in your life. You stay away from the sus. But getting different opinions from professionals, amateurs, people like me and Morgan, it never hurts, but it should never change your opinion on it. Because that's almost the last step. You want to do the research first, and then you want to go and, read a little fluff article, or because then you get to hear both sides instead of you just like, oh, Memphis is better at this, and this, and the other team stinks, and that's why I'm going to bet on them. You need to hear both sides. Maybe the matchup is better. Maybe there's somebody out. You want to see, an injury report. It's always critical. But you stand by your research. Always. I don't care if you say you were on Memphis and me and Morgan were like, no, terrible pick. Worst pick of the year. Absolutely, you should not take DePaul plus 12, Greg. Definitely not. Definitely you should have taken the minus 30 that I told you to take. But he didn't listen to me. He felt in his mind he was right and we were wrong. So always take everybody's opinion with a grain of salt. Because I have more experience or a professional, quote unquote, professional gambler has more experience doesn't mean that they're right.
I mean, look at that Lakers pick. You guys hated that Lakers pick.
Yeah, absolutely.
You crucified me. You got the salt. You put it on me. You got well.
Okay.
No, that's
on me.
It's fair. It's absolutely
burned me and then burned all that shit. And what happened? I came out all Jesus-like with a big fuck
fair.
you shirt.
That's it. You trusted your gut. What we do with all the picks we put out each day, what we do with each podcast we report. These are some of our thoughts. These are our opinions. If Billy and I knew what was going to happen every single game, do you think we'd be sitting here talking to you right now?
No.
Probably not.
I'd be sitting on a beach.
We'd be on a beach playing golf, drinking, and having a good time.
Wow,
still gambling all of our money away on every single game. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't be sitting here watching a McChicken in the background.
I'd just
But-
be waiting for you to come back. That's all.
And you welcome us with open arms.
I would not actually.
Your favorite
just-
degenerates are back.
Yeah, screw you.
But you do want to stand by your gut. I know I've told you a story last year. I had a game, quick real story time. I had the Lakers versus Sixers last season, and I knew in my heart because I was down on AC this day for work, and I knew in my heart Sixers were going to win this game outright. They always step up against the competition. They play down to the competition. Lakers they played well against in the past, and Embiid always puts up big numbers. I was willing to put down a massive bet. And when I say massive, I mean 4-digit bet on the Sixers
he was
to win this game outright. And my pick was going to be very pretty. And I felt super confident. And I got scared. I got so scared. I got all the way to the casino. I was ready to place the bet, and I was terrified. I go home. I have a nice little party that night with some friends. I'm watching that game. What happens? Sixers win by 27.
Yeah.
But I didn't obviously I didn't hurt myself. I didn't lose anything. Mm-hmm. But I trust my gut. You got to, at the end of the day,
trust it.
What I put out doesn't matter what anybody puts out. Trust what you believe in, right? Your opinion might shift. Us talking about this Memphis game might have solidified your pick for Memphis. It might maybe I swayed you the other way. I don't know. But it's always good to just believe in what you're doing.
Yep. Because if you think it's right, and you're willing to put your hard-earned money, or whether you're not gambling or not, but just in general for anybody listening, if you're willing to put your hard-earned money and you think you're truly right,
do it.
Your gut is right more time than it's not. I've lost more money by going back on my original opinion on the game because I did too much research. I read too much about it. Sometimes like this time of the year, for me, college basketball, there's very little research for me to do. I know the numbers. I know who's good. I know who can beat who. I know the matchup. Morgan stopped taking pictures of me. I know it looked cute. But now it's a gut feeling. It's, hey, there's 16 seconds left in this Texas game. I need them really to score a basket right here. I'm not worried at all because I bet on it. And big deal. If I lose, I fall off my seat again, and everything's going to be fine.
It's only money.
It's only money. I work a job to make money so I can support my habits. That's I gamble responsibly.
Vices are what make the world go round.
Yes, I've given up plenty of vices. This way I can keep this one. Oh, 1 point. Hold on, Morgan. 1.8 seconds.
I know.
Foul.
You just said that, and I'm like, shit. I got to look right now because I'm on Texas Tech.
We're gonna get back on track. Jared, give us the rest of your plays for the week.
Ooh, real quick. Before we get into his plays, Jared, you had homework for 3 straight weeks, and I just want to brief little touch on it. You finally did it. You did it last week. You watched Uncut Gems. What did you think?
I want that to be my lifestyle. Only I'm going to do everything different. First order of business, I'm buying a gun, and once I let those fuckers out, pop.
Hey, whoa! No homicide on the show. Come on.
Right.
This is a children's show.
You have too many people that you're about to rank in the D tier of friends. Who I don't want you to have that around.
The thing that was most inspiring to me is that he tried. He gave it his damnedest to be with his kids and everything. But guess what? He knows who he is. He's Billy. He's Morgan, and he's a future me. He's a degenerate. Okay, and guess what? He started him young. He started his kid young.
You're a future him, not right? He's a future you. You're a future him.
Okay, reverse card. Okay, that guy, he was everything. I was like, you know what? He's blowing it all away. He could have paid off his debts. He could have done all this, but you know what? It just beckoned to him. It beckoned to him because he knew it. In his plums.
In the gut, bro. It was his gut play.
Plums,
he needed it.
In his plums. In his plums, man. He knew that he could make it work. He knew he could make it work. He knew he could make it work.
And that is a dream. That parlay that he hit. That's the dream right there. There's nothing more than putting the 5-digit play out there. Oh, son of a bitch.
To me, honestly,
Texas hit the second free throw.
Maybe
goal.
Maybe to me, I don't know. It just feels a little juju-ish. I wouldn't want to directly contact the player that I'm betting on. I don't know. That's just me.
Never.
I just feel like I'm gonna let the fates lie, and I'm gonna let the degenerate gods, degenerate gods stretch my hands. Let them decide whether I win or lose. I'm not gonna go up to Ja Morant, be like, hey pal, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. And even if Ja Morant is fucking with me, guess what? That little thing. Know what that little thing is? Huh? That's the juju. That's the juju that you don't want. And that's just me. But Howard was I salute you, Howard. Okay? You were born a degenerate and you died a degenerate.
Absolutely.
And I salute you.
Fuck!
Yes. Morgan loses.
Fuck!
Yes.
Morgan, this happened twice to you now. You've been on the wrong side of the game twice.
Yeah,
Twice.
I'm aware.
Follow me, baby.
Right.
Hey, let me take you to the promised land. I
already told you. I've told you in 2 straight episodes of betting that Texas Tech is a Final Four team for me.
That's great. That's wonderful. I love it. I love that West Virginia lost today. Absolutely love it.
Too. I absolutely love that.
Beautiful. Love it. You need to. I almost called him Greg because I'm just so happy that Greg just got blown out by 34 points. Jared, this is a beautiful life lesson. This is the title of my betting card today. You need to lose in order to learn how to win. You have to know what it feels like to have that heart ripped out of you, lose with 1.8 seconds left. Just come this close, because next time you'll get over that hump.
I'm just saying right now,
teams.
I'm putting a 5-unit play on Toledo tomorrow. I'm riding with my team.
Yes, this is the end of the podcast, boys and girls. It was nice to meet everybody.
Jared, I thank you for that. All right, Jared, what are some picks you got for us?
Okay, here are my picks. Jay Philly the Kid. What happened to FanDuel? Motherfucking titty Lakers.
Wow.
Hold on 1 second. Stay with us. Just relax. All right, here we go. I had the Memphis game. I have Memphis at a +3. I have the Jazz at the Rockets. Rockets are trash. Plain and simple. I mean, they try to get Hero and Doug who from the
Duncan
Robinson. It's a D name.
Well, I'm glad that you're a threat for Greg for the UFC title and not the basketball title for me.
Sorry, I fucking forgot. Chat, let the Jazz rock. And here's a pick. That I slightly researched while we were talking about Mumbo Jumbo, and I would like to say that this is a big fuck you to Morgan, but it is what it is. I have Washington beating the 76ers.
It's a bad pick. Just gonna throw that out there.
What's the money line on that?
Number's not out yet.
Oh, well, that's a bad pick.
That's a terrible pick. And Embiid's coming back and wasn't able to play tonight. He's going to go off for probably at least 40.
Says that Embiid and Simmons are out Friday.
Embiid's back tomorrow. Simmons is out Saturday, up till Saturday or Sunday's game.
They're both out, dude. They're both going to not play.
Out.
Embiid's
COVID
back
protocol.
Tomorrow. Yeah,
COVID protocol.
Embiid is cleared for tomorrow. I was watching the Sixers game tonight where they were talking about it.
Hey, lady hair, guess what?
I'm telling you, Embiid was out, had to be out for 1 game. Simmons had to be out for 2.
Wrong. You're wrong. As you flip your lady hair, you're wrong. I'm taking the Wizards. Crash the Wizards. Everyone listen to me. Crash the Wizards. Howard will want you to crash the Wizards. This is Howard speaking. He wants you to crash the Wizards.
Actually, there is a much better bet that you could probably take in that game, Jared. Just want to throw that out
first,
there.
Rui Hachimura.
The over. You'd want to take the over.
The over is an easy bet, but Joel Embiid actually has been a cash cow this season on first basket.
No,
Just
because
wanna
you're a
throw that
Sixers
out
fan
there.
and
I'm just
your love for the
trying to
Sixers are
throw that out there.
blinding you. You never
Jared,
bet your own team, man. That's
this
one of
is
the rules.
the most profitable bet in NBA. I'm telling you
Mhm.
right now, and I'm telling you why.
Mhm.
76ers first half spread.
It's true.
Why?
It's
Because they can't close a fucking game out.
the Sixers are one of the worst third quarter teams in the league,
Yes.
but the first half they're one of the very best.
One of the
Mhm.
worst teams in the league in general. But yeah, okay.
That play and the Pelicans over are the biggest locks of like the year.
Yeah.
Pelicans over
and
is
Jazz.
27-10. Yeah, and the Jazz.
Jesus.
Morgan, close out.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
We're
So,
running late.
boys, where Jared, what do you got going on? Where can we find you? Anything special happening this week on the stream?
Tomorrow on the stream, we're going to be doing a tier maker on fast food sandwiches, but with a twist. We will be live ranking them. Yes, that is right. I'm going to Wendy's. I'm going to Chick-fil-A. I'm going to McDonald's. I'm going to Popeyes. I'm going to Burger King. And guess what? I'm going to KFC. I will be purchasing each chicken sandwich.
So if you want to watch a heart attack on live stream tomorrow,
if you want to watch a heart
tune
attack
in to
on
Jay
stream,
Philly the Kid.
tune in. I will be sampling all the sandwiches on stream and live ranking them. So
Now, when you say
7 to 30,
sampling them, are you going to be eating the whole sandwich, or are you just going to
I
do being
will
like a little
not
Dave
be
Portnoy
eating the
pizza review?
I
Jay.
am not going to be eating the whole sandwich.
Side note, before we close it out, Jay, can
Yeah.
you pick me up a spiced chicken sandwich from Popeyes and I'll come pick it up on my way home from work tomorrow?
Okay.
Cool, bet. You can find me, Jay Philly the Kid, on Twitch.
Jay Philly the Kid, Twitch tomorrow night. It's going to be an awesome show.
We will not be eating the whole entire sandwich because then I would just die on stream.
It'll be hilarious. You can interact with Jared there. Jared's getting better at interacting with his viewers. However, Billy and I will probably be popping in at some point, and we love to interact with the crowd. We are showmen. We love to have a good time and hoot and holler. Maybe go a little muy caliente mode on Jared. Do a couple dabs. Throw something in there.
No, Jared, no time for it.
Different things. We were really disappointed that you didn't say muy caliente last night when Billy redeemed that.
I was really into the game. I'm sorry, it was late. I was really into the game.
Where can I find you at?
You can find me at BillyFFD. You can also find me at Betting Diagonal. You can find me on my OnlyFans at Big Will. That's just a joke, my mom. You can't find me there. My dick is not on the television screen. I promise you.
Also find me at Pizzaiolo, Comac Road.
Yes. I'm actually wearing my shirt right now.
Best wings. Oh my god.
Hey, yo. Jerry, shut up. You need to leave.
I appreciate you doxing Billy's establishment of work, so that way anyone can come find him now if he has a losing pick. That's one thing you don't do to your gambling friends.
He's gonna go out Howard style.
I don't like that. I wouldn't like that. I don't really need to find another chair for Betting Diagonal. The two of us have a pretty good roll going right now. So
I'm available.
Anyway, you can find me at MoWatts26. You can find all of us at Betting Diagonal. We'll probably post Jared's picks this evening, or I'll post them early tomorrow once I get the true lines out there, and I'll touch back with Jared. We'll get some extra Jared picks here and there, see what we can do.
Take a look at this. Start posting them up.
Yeah, I'll start posting Jared's picks up there so everyone can see him. We'll start tagging him in them. He'll be a special guest contributor here and there. Maybe he's got some random hot dog eating contest click he wants to put in or something. We'll see what happens. But thank you, boys. Another great one as always. This was Birth of a Degenerate, brought to you by Betting Diagonal. We will see you all next week.